Hey everyone, welcome back to Story Behind the Story. I'm your host, Courtney Rowe, and today I'm joined yet again by Sarah, who is reporting for the Human of Northwest, and this week it was Chris Hughes. So can you tell us who that is?
So Chris Hughes is the executive in residence here at Northwest, and he does a lot of leadership training for organizations that ask him to. He also does it for people like in exec boards. And he also works very closely with students who are graduating to get them on the right career path.
And I know you mentioned someone that's been a very big influence for him named Denny Sapp. Who is that?
So Denny Sapp is actually a Blue Angel, and he was also an alumni, but there was like an age difference, so like he's 20 years older than Hughes. But the thing about it is that Hughes met him at a function, and they both went to Red Oak, which is his hometown. Mm-hmm. And so through that, they were able to communicate, and Sapp doesn't really remember too much from that time, but Hughes, it was a really big impact for Hughes because Hughes was like, oh, cool, he's cool, I want to be cool.
What was it like talking and sitting down with Hughes and hearing his story? What did you learn?
Oh, I learned a lot. Actually, it was funny. So for the first 30 minutes of the interview, I'm pretty sure he just talked to me about what he can do for us, and he taught us like we were students. And it was funny because I was like, wow, this is not what I came for, but I got more out of it than I thought I would. And he very much was just very hey, I want to help you, even though you're here to talk about me.
I know he wasn't quite clear with his path growing up. He didn't really know what exactly he wanted to do. So what got him back here to Northwest? And I know you kind of touched on it, but what is he doing now?
So actually, what really helped him get to Northwest in the first place was Denny Sapp. And then beyond that, when he returned, that was actually through Dr. Jasinski. He was very active in the military at the time, and he was actually the first Army provost for the Army University down in Leavenworth, Fort Leavenworth. And through that, he was able to talk to a lot of different universities and see who was connected with the Army University. He realized that Northwest wasn't, and he was like, why is that? So throughout his time, he would talk to Dr. Jasinski, and Jasinski eventually got him to come up, and he was like, hey, if you really wanted to help us, we have a position, and, we think you'd fit it. And he was like, okay. So when he retired from the military in May, that's when, during the summer, he came up here and started his official time here.
He seems like a very charismatic and, I don't know, just someone who's very driven. And I know that he's had a really big impact on a student here, Zach Waterbury. So can you tell us who that is and what impact Hughes has had on him?
Yes, so Zach Waterbury's a senior right now, and he actually he also used to be in Phi Sig, which is the same fraternity that that Zach was in. So what really helped them, they connected through that. He also comes from the same military background, and he also comes from a very small town in Iowa. And so he had a lot of connections with Hughes, and he found that he would be someone helpful for him in the future. So he went up to him and was like, hey, I know you don't have to do this, but I'd really like to get some help on my interview. And so he wants to go into dental school, and so he talked to him. They set up a time, so every week they would meet, and through that they were able, he was able to build up his confidence and his skills, and eventually in September he went and actually did his interview, and now he's just waiting for it. But he said that Hughes helped him a lot to understand what he would need to do when he went in for his interview and what he would need to do after. So
I think it's great that Northwest has so many people like Hughes who are so dedicated to helping students reach their full potential, find out what they want to do. I just think it's so great. But what should we expect from you in regards to future stories?
So for future stories, actually, we have this really cool human. It's something that we haven't done a lot, but it'll be focusing on many humans, and it's more of a collective unit, and it'll be about the people who have gone off to war and are now dealing with PTSD while also still being a student. but they're also like, it'll be anybody really who has done military service and just talking to them about like the experience coming back to school and being like, how is this affecting my life now?
Well, that seems really interesting, and I really can't wait to read it. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.